What up, though? It's your boys from Late Entry. I got Kyle.
Hello there.
I got Nolan.
Hola, señores.
And Buck is out tonight, unfortunately. We're going to be talking to you guys tonight about some March Madness stuff. Going to go over our individual bracket and punishment. Going to cover a little bit about the Pistons, Jackie Robinson, a little bit of NFL news, some proposals for rule changes, and then we're going to talk about a gripe we have with a certain drink. So to start off with, we are doing we've got a big, I think we got like 12 people in our March Madness pool, but then the four of us, the three of us here plus Buck, out of the four of us, whoever finishes last when the tournament ends will have to do the next recording. Two things. One, they're going to have to wear a sticky note with a big ass L on their forehead the entire podcast. And then two, going to have to end the episode by taking a shot of hot sauce. So I'm looking forward to one of you guys doing that. Not me, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm already leading this battle.
I don't know.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Last check, Kyle's kind of right on your heels, so we'll see. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and give you guys our Final Fours. We're recording this on Thursday night, so kind of give you guys some updates on what's happened so far. Excuse me. With the tournament. So I'll start. My Final Fours that I've got right now are Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, and Duke. And then I've got Tennessee beating Florida in the championship.
Okay.
So that's me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do not know a ton about college basketball at all. Did my bracket last night, fell asleep doing it, woke up this morning and had to finish it before work. So that's me. I wound up. I know it looked
Damn,
like
dude, you were hitting me up Wednesday morning, like, bro, finish your bracket.
No, you hadn't.
This morning,
you had,
bitch.
Listen, you hadn't joined the bracket or the pool yet. I didn't want you to snake out of it and wind up. Oh, I don't have to do the hot sauce. I never signed up. That'd have been an automatic hot sauce shot for you.
Yeah, that would have been an auto L.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm an honorable man. I would have did it. Keep going.
No, you're good. So yeah, I've got. It looks like I was torn up about Auburn and MSU, but I wound up going Auburn over them, and then Florida over Auburn, and then I think Cooper Flag is supposed to be playing, from what I understand, for Duke, but I did have Tennessee getting over them, so we will see how that plays out. Kyle, what you got?
So
That sounded so uncertain.
I got the University of Michigan.
No, you
Duke.
do not.
In your Final Four?
Yeah,
Oh my god!
and I'm on the edge of my seat right now because I am looking to my left, and there's 3 minutes left. And UC San Diego just made it a 2-point game.
They've been coming back this whole time. Michigan had a nice little lead, and then they've been blowing up
And
the second half.
I have zero tolerance for spice, my guys. All right, out of bounds on UC. Jesus Christ. Have mercy on my soul, please. So I have the University of Michigan. I have butterflies in my stomach. I have Duke as well. Wait, you didn't have Duke.
Yeah, Duke.
I have Duke.
I've got Duke.
Florida. Oh, you did have Duke. You
Yep.
had Houston from
No,
No, he's got Tennessee.
Tennessee.
fuck.
I've got.
I'm paying
Florida.
attention. I promise.
No, you're good. I have Florida. I have Auburn. I have Tennessee, and I have Duke. Yeah. So what was yours? Michigan.
Michigan, Duke, Florida, and Kentucky, because it's Kentucky. My notes about that are, I don't know. It's called Madness for a reason. And Kentucky is Kentucky. And I had a family friend growing up that was a big Kentucky fan. Shout out Don. And he would tell me every year, Kyle, You got to put Kentucky in to the finals. You're going to get some money. And every time I did it, I never got money. So shout out Don. Hopefully I get some money this time, or at least don't have to eat hot sauce.
I was gonna say what you gonna get is a hot sauce shot.
My big point about that was going to happen about Michigan is that they had to get their get back against MSU in the Elite Eight. But apparently getting there is going to be a whole nother task. So
Yeah, Auburn's damn good this year.
Auburn is damn good.
Yeah.
You are right about that. I
who do you got
I
in
am
the
with
finals
Spence.
there?
I don't pay that much attention, and I'm a homer, so
There
shooting
we
my
go.
shot.
I will say for the record, for the podcast, all three of us are Michigan fans. So we're gonna.
Well, I'm a Michigan State basketball fan before Michigan basketball.
What kind of shit is that? You're a U of M fan for everything else but basketball?
I just grew up watching Michigan football, and I grew up watching Michigan State basketball, and that's kind of what drove my fandoms for each team.
You know,
I
people have,
never picked a school.
people have given me shit my whole life because I'm a Lions fan and a Packers fan. What the fuck is that, though? I've never heard of a Michigan and a Michigan State fan for different sports.
My dad went to U of M, but he took us to Michigan State basketball growing up because of Tom Izzo, to be honest.
Tom Izzo is great, but it's kind of how I feel about the Vikings. It's similar to Spencer. I want them to win every game that isn't against the Lions. I want Michigan State to win every game that isn't against Michigan when it comes to basketball.
Oh, of
But
course.
when they go against us, fuck them boys.
Yeah, of course. They two go up against each other. I mean, same thing with like the Lions and the Packers. Lions over Packers. We're gonna find out that you secretly like fucking Ohio State for some shit too.
Nope.
Yeah.
Ohio's off the list. Ohio's off the list.
When Jack Sawyer joins the Lions next year, he's going to be flipping that.
Kyle, I want to know who you got in the finals and who you got winning.
I have Duke beating Michigan in the finals.
Oh, man, you got Michigan going all the way to the championship.
I know who's taking the hot sauce shot.
They've done it once before in my lifetime. Yeah, I mean, I like Frank's.
Oh my god,
Not really.
it's
I can't
less.
handle it.
It's sub 3 minutes. It's a tied game. Oh shit.
Michigan ball. They're about to sink a 3.
If we get a live reaction to your championship team losing in the first round,
No, we're going to get them pulling out a buzzer beater. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Michigan is only favored by 2.5 in this game.
This episode is going to be 2.5 hours now. Fuck it.
Nolan, who's your final four?
So in my final four, I've got Michigan State, I've got Maryland, I've got Duke, and I've got Tennessee.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't
Michigan
think
State,
that
good pick.
I really don't think Florida's going to be doing anything special this year. My brother has been sending in the group chat overrated for the last 4 months, so I'm kind of following his lead on that one. And then also Michigan State over Auburn. I've got Duke winning. I don't remember if I had Wisconsin in that one or not, but I got Duke making it to the Final Four, and then I've got Tennessee making it. I think I have Houston losing in the Sweet 16 as well. But Tennessee's been playing really hot. I have them losing to Duke going to the championship. I've got Michigan State beating Maryland, Michigan State in the championship, and then I've got Michigan State beating Duke. I've got Tom Izzo going all the way. He hasn't won one in 25 years. I think he's due. He's been playing really coached up this team all the way.
Michigan with the 3-pointer up by 1. Holy shit.
They just gave the lead up a second ago. This is sensational. So you've got your final was what? Your championship was what, Nolan?
I had Michigan State over Duke.
Michigan State over Duke.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
I would love that. And then Tom Izzo can just ship off to retirement off a championship.
Oh no, he's gonna fucking kick it all the way until he dies. I swear, he's gonna be one of
He's
those
gonna Bobby
coaches
Knight that
you're
shit.
like, holy shit, he should not be out there.
Do you guys have any?
He's gonna keep-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I was just going to say he's going to keep throwing chairs until he's done. That's a Bobby Knight joke.
Do
He
you
likes to point in his players' faces. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's true.
do you guys have any dark horse teams? Any Cinderella runs?
I do. I don't know if I'm
Other than
prepared to
Michigan?
really- Yeah.
I can I can go first while you're pulling yours up.
You go first, please, while I react to my team hopefully winning this.
I have two. One of them, BYU. I thought that they might make a little bit of a run. I've got them beating Wisconsin next round, and then I have them losing to Alabama in the Sweet 16. So that I think could happen. What I'm quite concerned about is the hit that I took to my bracket today. I've got fucking. I was like, let me take one real dark horse. Let's see how that pans out. I took High Point over Purdue. High Point lost. I have High Point making it further, dog. I have High Point in the fucking Elite Eight, losing to Tennessee. And they lost already.
Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone. I already got Clemson knocked out. I had them in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
I also had VCU in the Sweet 16. They're knocked out. So it's March Madness, man. You never know what the hell is going to happen. Sometimes they hit. A lot of times they don't.
That's true. Yeah, you kind of segued into some upsets that have happened so far. Clemson, number 5 Clemson, got knocked out by 2 points
How is that?
by McNeese. Clemson had they were blowing it bad the whole first half, and then made a nice comeback just to lose by 2 points to McNeese, who I've never even heard of before.
I don't even know where McNeese is.
Me neither.
McNeese been hooping.
Yeah. And then I really thought about this hard. I had a feeling that Arkansas and Kansas were going to be a really, really close one, and I couldn't figure out who I was going to take. Wound up taking Kansas because Hunter Dickinson's there. And nope, Calipari pulled it out, and number 10 Arkansas beats number 7 Kansas. Which I think I saw was their first loss in the round of 64 since, 2006 or 2004? Crazy.
I think this is probably their lowest seed since then as well.
Yeah. At a 7 seed?
Yeah.
Yep. What about you guys?
That's rough.
Kyle, did you wind up having a dark horse or no?
I sure did. You just mentioned them, McNeese State.
Stop. Are you serious?
Yes, sir. Their coach, Will Wade, used to coach LSU, kind of flipped their program around. He started off at actually VCU. Sorry, Nolan. He went 51-20 there in his tenure at VCU. He went 105-51 with LSU. And in his 2 seasons at McNeese State, he's gone 22-2 and now 29-6 after today. I picked McNeese State to get to the Sweet 16 this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe made a George Mason run even further. Shout out to the 2000s. They have a promising young coach in Will Wade. The only reason he got kicked out of that LSU job is because he had some recruiting violations. So
Which are probably now allowed.
Yeah, not really. He got caught on tape with the middleman talking about specifics, and he got caught red-handed, no doubt, or purple-handed. Shout out. And funny enough, his colors are still purple and yellow at McNeese State. He kept the same jerseys basically when he switched jobs.
He had all those ties. He had didn't want to buy new ties.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. So he's got this team playing hard though, and they are averaging 9 steals a game. So he's got that Jim Harbaugh and that Signetti in him. Like, he wins games. He might cheat a little bit, but he's gonna win you games. Yeah, I mean the team on offense, they're just like crashing the hoop, and then on defense, they're just like looking for every lane where you're looking to get that no look. Like, there were a couple times I watched the highlights against Clemson where they were looking for that guy at the top of the key, and he's dribbling to the basket and he's just going over the shoulder. It's gonna work 98% of the time. He's there. You've done it in practice. Boom, and McNeese was right there. Snatched that bitch. Gone. Yard. Touchdown.
There we go.
Wrong sport.
So
That's
you
a
have
good
them.
one.
You have them going how far? You said to the Sweet 16.
Sweet
316, but don't be surprised if they go further.
Okay. That's a good call. You said you don't know much about college basketball. Go and give us some in-depth breakdown like that. Shit. All right, let's give it to these final few seconds. 3-point game. San Diego has the ball. Can they get a 3 off? No. Shot missed. Michigan rebound. Michigan gets it. Oh my God. That was a close one. Final Michigan 68, San Diego 65.
Suck it, Sean Evans.
Woo,
They covered -2.5 that line.
I won't
That
be
was
on
a
Hot Ones this week.
Dog, if your championship went out on air, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been really good.
I do
have a dark horse actually in this tournament.
Yeah.
Not much of a dark horse, kind of a proven blue blood. I have UConn beating Florida in the next round of 32.
Oh wow!
But I do have them
Okay.
going down in the Sweet 16 to my Final Four team, Maryland.
Oh, man,
Okay.
I will be rooting for Florida. I cannot tell you how much
Maybe
I will
Elite
be
Eight.
rooting for Florida this weekend.
So many people have
Holy shit.
have Florida winning too. It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting having them get knocked out. But UConn, I can see they've been, from what I understand, they've been kind of hot at the end of the season. So it wouldn't surprise me if they make another deep push. I do want to
UConn, yeah, there's
Huh.
legacy to that organization.
back-to-back championships.
Van Hurley, baby.
Yep. I do want to pat myself on the back real quick. I did pick number 11 Drake to upset number 6 Mizzou. Or Missouri. But yeah. So there's that.
I'm mad about that one.
What did Buck end up having in her Final Four?
Yeah. So let me pull hers up. Go ahead and share that with you guys since she's not here to.
Did
read
you
it
really
herself.
have to lean over for the LeBron jersey? Can you lean back?
I was just being comfortable, dog. Go ahead and check. Yeah, a little 23 action. Bucks Final Four. She had Florida beating MSU and Tennessee beating Duke. She's got Tennessee beating Florida. She's the same Final Four she has the same championship that I do. Tennessee over Florida. Wait, no.
Oh shit.
Nope,
really?
that's not what I had.
You
Fuck-
had
fuck
Michigan
what I
State,
had.
didn't you?
No, I didn't have Michigan State. I had Auburn.
Oh, that's right.
Or was it Florida? Now I have to double check.
No, you had Auburn losing in the Final Four. You had
To
the
Florida.
same time.
Yes, we do have the same one. It's a lot of shit going on. Sorry, but yes, yeah, Tennessee
Yeah.
over Florida for the championship.
So you better hope that those 4 teams don't lose, or else we're going to be in for a lot of hurting, and we're just going to be battling on the first Sweet 16 and Elite 8 rounds.
Right.
I'm gonna just say this to the audience. I hate hot sauce, so that 3-point victory, I will run that shit to the bank.
bro, you were out here. You were out here talking about some. Can we do spicy salsa? Hot sauce, my boy. Any other? Well, here, let me give you guys the breakdown of where we're at right now. Currently, of the 4 of us, I am in the lead.
Can you give like the total projected points as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Kyle and I are tied right now at 110 points. I've got a max of 1820. Kyle has a max of 1800. Then we've got Buck. Oh shit, she's tied with us through. It's a 3-way tie currently. She's also got 110. She's got 1880 points, so she's got the most.
In the top.
Yep, so she's got the most potential points still of us. And then down here in 4th, we've got Nolan, 90 points with a max of 1760. So
I'm not worried. I got Maryland in my Final Four. They'll make it.
I was gonna say some things could definitely change to switch that up. I was really scared
I
after.
wanna,
I was really
I
scared.
want to double down
Go ahead.
Fuck. I want to double down on the challenge, on the people who challenged Buck on her AD take that said she didn't know ball after hearing that.
Oh yeah.
I know it's day one and I'm overreacting, but Buck being in first place after people told her she didn't know ball.
Buck definitely knows ball. She probably is going to
She
wind up.
definitely knows ball. That's what I'm saying.
If she wins out of the four of us, I definitely would not be surprised.
Me neither. Sorry, keep going with your shit.
No, you're good. I lost my train of thought. We're all good though. Did any of you guys have any other day one stuff you want to talk about, or are we good?
No, I'm just ready to see Tom Izzo get back after it tomorrow night at the same time.
True.
You fucking homer.
Says the guy who has U of M in his championship.
That was the joke.
Some quick NBA news. Last night, speaking of homers, Cade Cunningham hits a. How did you describe it? It wasn't a buzzer beater because there was half a second left.
Last second shot
over Bam, right? Yep, for the game. So honestly, I think that the Pistons are better than the current Heat construction. I don't think it should have been that close. But we've talked about before about one of the staples of a good team is if you do fuck around and keep a bad team in a game against you, don't blow it. Close it out, which they were able to do. Mm-hmm. So that does give me some hope that even though it was that close, that they were still able to finish that. You guys have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I absolutely love just the amount of attention that the NBA has been giving to the Pistons like the past week.
Coached by Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, well, no, that's TNT. See, that's way different. I'm talking about the league and the media promotions for the league. They flexed this game last week so that they would be on national television. I think that the NBA understands that they've been missing out on the entire season of this really good physical basketball that honestly should be replicated around the league. You don't see people on the Pistons foul baiting. You don't see them really doing any of the other things, shooting, just jacking up threes left and right like other teams are. They're not just running pick and rolls up top like other teams are. They're playing sound team basketball, and I love it. And I'm so happy that the league is starting to recognize it, starting to show it to all the fans. People are starting to get the Cade Cunningham recognition. I've been seeing tweets saying, first team All-NBA this year? Holy shit. I hadn't seen anything like that regarding a Piston, I don't think, in my entire life. So it's really cool seeing this type of deserved recognition.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that a year ago today, they lose that game. Like,
easily.
It gets down to the nitty-gritty. They didn't have the depth they have to do it. And
fuck losing that game. They lost every game.
I mean, yeah.
27 straight. I was at that.
Exactly. That's exactly. They hung on for 3 quarters, and then it was just like they were floundering every last 15 minutes of every game. So to see them persevere and actually play Detroit basketball, not to, oof.
Detroit basketball.
Anyway, nostalgic vibes right there. Yeah, I can't wait for it to come back, and it's coming back, man. I'm not saying they are making a run this year necessarily.
Oh, they are.
But
say it. They are making a run this year. I don't mind saying it. They're beating the Pacers, they're beating the Bucks, they're beating the Knicks in a playoff series. And as long as they hold one of those 4 or 5 seeds, I think they're just going to dominate.
I would love to see a Pistons-Lakers finals this year just for the podcast. Because you're a Lakers fan and we're Pistons fans.
I mean, I told you guys a while back. I'm coming home. I'm with the Pistons. In the West, I got the Lakers. In the East, I got the Pistons.
Is that a 14 on your shirt?
Back here?
I thought you were wearing that Amon Ra. No.
Oh, right. With the
It is that Amon-Ra St. Brown. It is.
Yeah. Literally
well,
from his
right.
comments from the interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate. I will say, so before I give my thoughts, Nolan, you're saying that they can go how far? I think that they can win a playoff game. You're saying they can go to what?
You said one playoff game?
No, I'm sorry, one playoff series. One playoff series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could definitely get out of their first series, and then it depends on the next matchups, injuries, all that stuff, who's healthy. I think the Pistons can take pretty much anybody in the East besides a fully healthy Boston.
What about the Cavs?
I think they could take a Cavs team.
That's a hot take.
Well, the Cavs have proven that they fall apart in the playoffs every year when they don't have that one single piece to keep pushing them through.
That's interesting. I would like to see a Cavs versus Pistons.
The thing I'll admit about the Pistons that I've noticed is when it's up to Colin Schroeder to watch over the offense. That's when games start. Like when we're up by 17, it becomes 9, and I'm like, oh shit. Like okay, and then Cade comes back in to play with him after his little rest, and it's like, all right, everything's fine.
Wait,
Cade's running the offense again. But
say
when
Colin-
Cade isn't in there,
Dennis Schroeder, right?
yes,
Okay.
not Colin. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, just making sure.
Sorry. When he's out there and Cade isn't, I'm a little nervous. When he's running the offense, when he's even on defense, he hasn't quite figured out the way that the Pistons are doing things and that like kind of flowy system. So he's kind of like, whoo, whoo, whoo. I can just like kind of see him bouncing around out there a little bit. Like he's a little indecisive about where he needs to be. Hopefully, he gets there by the end of the regular season. But that is kind of their weak spot. They don't have that great of bigs, and when Cade isn't out there, the offense and defense are both floundering a little bit.
See, now that's where I disagree. I think the Pistons have some of the best 1-2 big combo because you start with Jalen Duren. He's a pretty good offensive player, pretty good on the defensive side as well. And then you bring in Isaiah Stewart, who we know has no offensive potential, but he's going to be the freaking rim protector. He's going to make sure that anybody that is jumping up for a dunk, he's going to be right up there with you, whether he's getting dunked on or blocking that shot. And holy shit, I love having both of them on the team.
I love having both of them on this team, but we still need height. Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris are fine, but I don't think Isaiah Stewart is like a Jason Maxiel. He's a little taller. Whoa. He might swerve bend that corner. He's a little taller than like Maxiel was. And that's a deep cut. But I don't know. Isaiah Stewart he plays bigger than he is, but we need more size, man. You can't say that we have like top-notch size.
I think that we do have some of the best two bigs in the league. I don't think there aren't that many teams that can bring in a backup center and lose pretty much nothing on defense.
That's fair.
The one thing I want to say about them is just compared to where they were last season, literally setting a record for how poor they were to where they are now. Playoff berth, we're thinking they're going to win a playoff game. That is such a humongous jump in one season. That's really, really impressive. And it makes me like, being from Michigan, it makes me really happy, like the idea of like everything I feel like down there is building. The Lions slow build up. And now they're, I would say not even relevant, but genuine contenders every year. And now the Pistons from going from absolute dog shit to being, I don't know if I'd say they're contenders, but they're in the mix for sure. In one season,
they're just great. They're one player away. That's it. And I know you sent that text earlier about Devin Booker.
Kyle sent that, but yeah.
I'm a little worried about that because I think he would be kind of a haul. We'd be giving up some first-round picks that I don't think we can afford to give up. I also don't think that we could give up a player like Jaden Ivey quite yet. He's proven himself to be pretty good. So it really
And
just
Devin
depends
Booker
on
is-
what kind of pieces the Pistons are willing to move for him. Because we know Booker, he's not going to be playing defense, but he's going to be able to score at a high clip.
Do you think that he'd be a good fit with their chemistry?
I think he would actually play a little more aggressive if he came here because he would have to. But I do think of it as similarly to like why the Lions wouldn't. I mean, not necessarily the same, but definitely similar to like why the Lions didn't sign Jalen Ramsey when he was a free agent. Is like he doesn't necessarily fit the Detroit culture, and that is a very small group of players. But the thing that Detroit sports are doing is that they're making it a sought after place. DJ Reed like prayed about it and eventually came to the decision that it was Detroit, and it's like that never happened,
Right.
Yeah.
for any Detroit sport. I mean, well, especially the Lions, but
Exactly.
for a lot of Detroit sports, for a lot of our childhood, you never saw a player like, yeah, I prayed on it and Detroit was the spot for me. Like they were going to Miami or Las Vegas when they got a team or the money marketplaces. And
It's a tough
it's just
destination to sell.
it's all just great for Detroit sports. I'm just happy to see the Pistons doing well and Pistons by a million all the way.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Got more people on the train. I'm happy people are starting to pay attention.
That's a good thing, like that you mentioned. Like the culture, I think is for both teams very important. It's like we're building a culture, and maybe we're not going to take you because you don't fit that culture. We're not about flash. We're about to quote Dan Campbell, grit. You know what I mean? You come here, you put your hard hat on, you work, you fit into this culture as a piece, moving the whole thing forward. Not about a certain one player or somebody else. That's a good point.
Yep.
Jared Goff even said in an interview this week that if you're from Detroit, you're blue collar. Even once you've gotten through blue collar and you're white collar, you're still blue collar. Everybody from Detroit has that grit gene. And they have that hard working gene in them that can't give up, can't quit, can't retire, can't stop. And that's what Dan Campbell has brought to this team. That's what all of these teams seem to be trying to do. Well, both of these teams seem to be trying to do. I won't speak on Chris Ilitch tonight. I'm not a huge fan of the way he's
Fair.
running things for the Red Wings and the Tigers right now. But as far as the Pistons and the Lions go, the two teams I've cared about the most my whole life, I am so happy with the way these organizations are being run because they are an extension of their city.
Yeah,
I fully agree with that. I do.
absolutely. Anything else about the Pistons before I take it to the next one?
Pistons to the moon.
All right, so I know we've done some joking around tonight. I do have one serious topic I want to kind of get off my chest. We're not really like a super political podcast or anything like this, but this does have a sports tie-in, and I do want to address it. I only learned about this today, so my understanding of it is not all the way there, but it's something, like I said, once again, I do want to address. So for about a day, I believe it was, on the defense, like the U.S. defense website, basically, they had taken down like the story about like Jackie Robinson, who, if you guys don't know, he served in World War II before he ever went on to play baseball, break the color barrier. Part of what the administration right now is doing, I'm not going to get into like the depths of all of this on people's opinions or whatever, but their whole thing is like getting rid of quote unquote DEI. And so they're taking all the stuff down from that. They're talking about, like people that are like American heroes. We're not looking at that through the lens of race. So if like your tie-in to that happens to be about race, like they're getting rid of that information. So they had this story about like Jackie Robinson, who, like I said, he served in World War II. He was actually court-martialed at one point for refusing to go to the back of a bus. And then he was honorably, not dishonorably, but honorably discharged from his service before he ever went on to break the color barrier. So Jackie Robinson's whole story is a story of both race and, as Kyle had mentioned off air, perseverance. The two of those things together. And so I think that it's impossible to talk about the story of Jackie Robinson at all without mentioning race into it. And I understand that we don't want to look at things through race, but his story is about race. And so I just think that removing that, Jackie Robinson is an American hero. He was a veteran, like I said, served in World War II, and then an absolute sports icon. I mean, they still have 42 a day, like in the MLB today. He's an absolute American hero. The fact that you would take him down, and they put it back up, I think, like I said, after a day, probably because of the criticism for it, although they claimed it was a mistake. I don't think people are buying that. But I think that to take a story like that down is an absolute disgrace. And I think that you can try to take it away or put it somewhere else or act like it didn't happen. Our history as a country is a history. We have a lot of great parts about history and a lot of negative parts about our history too, but it all makes our country what it is. And I think that, we should highlight these stories about, part of the great American thing is like no matter where you're coming from, you can become something else. And so the fact that he overcame so many things to become what he became, that's absolutely a fundamental American hero story. And once again, to take that down, to hide it, to anything with that, it's an absolute disgrace. And I'm not the biggest, like I said, I'm not super well versed in being able to talk about this entire topic today. I did see Stephen A. Smith talked about it this morning on First Take, and I would encourage everyone to go and listen. It's about 7 minutes about what he had to say with that too, because it's very important, and I don't think that we should let something like this go or act like it didn't happen. So I just wanted to say that before we moved on.
Yeah, and I think that his story should definitely be told. I will play not much of a devil's advocate, but I will say, how many people are going to the Department of Defense website to read these types of stories?
Probably nobody, but enough to where it was found out.
Right. Yeah, and it's right to point it out and to talk about these types of stories. As long as we're not erasing them from people being able to find them, I think that's the most important part. As long as people aren't going against being able to share these types of stories, I think that's where we should at least stay as a country. I really don't have an opinion on it because I didn't know about this story until you had brought it up earlier in the night. But I definitely think that the stories should still be told as they were.
And I think that's the biggest thing about it is the fact that was people's complaint was the fact that by removing this, you're not telling that story anymore. And
correct.
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
I looked up to Jackie Robinson as a kid. But just on the fact that he broke a mold, he did something he wasn't supposed to do. You know what I mean? At that time, that he wasn't supposed to be doing. As far as baseball, I mean, even the military is, a whole new battle at that time in World War II, dealing with discrimination and going to war. But I completely agreed that recognition needs, and like you summed it up perfectly. Our country has a lot of good and a lot of bad in our history, and we need to recognize all of it. And we don't necessarily need to be sitting here and apologizing and victimizing ourselves or anything like that, but we need to recognize what we've gone through to get to where we are and what we can do to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I fully agree with that.
And the one last thing that I'll say about this before we move to the next topic is that I saw some shit from RG3 basically on Twitter, because this whole thing has become like a hellstorm. People criticizing Mina Kimes and Stephen A. Smith for basically talking about it on ESPN this morning. And RG3 was talking about how to keep politics out of sports, and that he had even said that Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier isn't political. It absolutely is an intersection of politics and sports, because if you're doing something that was illegal before, something that has to do with the law, that's politics. Him breaking through that to allow integration into baseball is absolutely political. Whether or not we want to, address that or not, you can't run from that. It's absolutely a direct intersection between sports and politics. So
Agreed.
That's all I want to say about that. I just, like I said, I wanted to take a second to address that. Into some lighter news. the Lions have put together a proposal for changing the way that you do playoff seeding. So they're saying basically your seeding should matter based off of
Record.
yes, regular season record, and not based off of winning a division. So, for example, like the Vikings, who were a wild card because they didn't win their division, but they had a better record than. I guess I don't know about the Eagles, but definitely the NFC South and the NFC East had a better record than them. So the Vikings would then be the number 2 or the number 3 seed instead of a wild card.
Right.
And you'd have like the NFC South; they would become a wild card, even though they won the division. What do you guys think about that?
I fully agree. I think that the regular season record holds more weight than winning a division. I don't think that you should be punished for losing 3 games in a season like that and not being able to host a playoff game at home. I think that winning in the regular season is important more than winning games inside of your division or more than the shitty teams in your division. I fully agree with the rule change. I think that this is something that should have been implemented years ago, but obviously it would have helped out the Vikings last year. Maybe they would have been able to, get a shot at winning that first playoff game at home.
Oh.
And I think that this is something that moving forward would be a good change for the league. I saw a lot of people talking about how, you're taking away winning the division is a good thing. No, you automatically get a playoff bid for winning your division if you're 9-6 or 9-7 now. I guess after 16 games, 17 now.
Yeah,
9-8.
9-8.
catching up on the new additions, but I think that the better teams should have the advantage in the playoffs. I don't think that winning in a worse division with a worse record should give you any sort of advantage when it comes to the playoffs.
Kyle?
Yeah, I agree completely to that. Little teaser to next week. I think there's a division in the AFC that could have 3 playoff teams, and why should the 15-2 or 14-3 and 13-4 whatever get penalized and have to go to Tampa or Carolina and play the 9-8 team that won the conference? I think it's a great move. I think it's good for football. I don't think it takes away from the division winner, like we were just saying.
You get an automatic playoff bid.
You get a playoff spot at the minimum. You won in a shitty division. I mean, we've seen 9-8 and 8-9 teams go in. So I don't want to see them get a home playoff bid against a freaking 11-5 team.
I guess I'll be the grumpy man fucking yelling at clouds, but I disagree with both of you for the exact same thing that you guys brought up. I think that winning your division should mean something. I think that, and you have a point about the fact that winning your division gets you a playoff berth. That is true. That being said, I still think that the divisional records and stuff should matter more than just getting a playoff berth. I think that if you want to be a higher seed, win more games. That's really all. That's the only thing that what I mean. You've got the divisions for a reason. You've got 4 divisions for a reason.
Yeah, but you only got 4 teams in there out of 32. You got 1/8 of the freaking playing field.
Where does it stop though? So like what you eventually they're gonna say you've got
right there.
No, what I'm saying is that if by following the same argument you want the best teams to be in and seeded the highest, then let's say that the NFC North next year sends 4 teams. And then the NFC...
the wild card still applies.
I guess I'm just saying that I think that winning your division should mean something. I think that maybe just because
mathematically anybody's gonna send 4 teams.
Yeah, because the wild card still applies. You still have to.
You have to face each other. Like the way divisional matchups work,
right?
Like it doesn't work out that way ever.
I see your point to that. Maybe it's just because I'm like I said, an old man stuck in my ways about that. But like I said, I feel like
hand me that cane. Hand me that cane. I got it.
I feel like winning your division should mean something, and I feel like it should be not only an automatic playoff berth, but also that. It makes for interesting matchups sometimes too, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is fair. It does make for some good drama things
But
for people to talk about.
it doesn't, and the whole point to doing it is the fact that, you know, your regular season, you want, let me restart that. The whole reason for changing it is that you want to see the best teams survive longer, so that you know, your NFC Championship, for example, is, you know, your two best teams. The fucking Vikings that we're talking about in this whole situation got bounced by the fucking Rams in the first round. Just because you have a good
And the away
division,
game.
just, do you think it would have made a difference?
1,000% home crowd makes a difference, and obviously the Lions lost to the Commanders at home this year, but the home crowd 100% makes a difference.
I don't know. I guess I just have the mindset, and I don't know. We've been the fucking Lions have been bad for so fucking long too. I remember fucking Aaron Rodgers, right? Wanted to fucking so badly. I want the Super Bowl to come through fucking Lambeau. Got his ass kicked by the Niners. You know what I mean? Like, it can happen. I think that the best team is going to win regardless, and I think that if you want that coveted, you know, 1 seed, 2 seed, win more games. The Vikings had the Vikings had every chance to get the number 1 seed, and they lost to the Lions both times they played them.
That's a fair argument, but I still think that they deserved a home playoff game over the Los Angeles Rams.
But they lost to the person that got one twice.
Yeah, because they're in the same division.
The Vikings beat every team in the NFL this year, but they lost twice to the Rams and they lost twice to the Lions.
They lost to the Vikings too, not the Vikings. They lost to the. Did they play the Eagles?
I don't think they did.
Nope. They're 4 losses on the whole year, playoffs and regular season, were 2 to the Lions, 1 to the Rams in the regular season, and then 1 to the Rams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How fair is that?
I would fucking, my opinion, ball don't lie, dog. Ball don't lie.
Don't hit us with some Rashid.
I'm just saying they lost to the fucking. They lost to the person that got to the team that got the fucking number 1 seed, so they didn't deserve it. They lost to the Rams, and they lost to the Rams again. They were frauds.
Frauds.
Yes,
they were.
I mean,
were.
The NFC North
the
NFC North was frauds this year, so yeah, we didn't get past the first round.
That's
all
fair.
3 of us, we got fucked.
Well, the Lions did. They well, I guess that isn't the first round. That's the wild card round.
We got a bye. Yeah, we beat that bye family. They're really good. They lose every match they play.
Okay, so I have a feeling that maybe we're going to be on opposites of this next one, too. Packers are proposing to ban the tush push, which has been talked about for a long time if they should or shouldn't. What do you guys think? Should they ban it? Keep it?
Keep it.
Nolan?
Hell yeah.
I think that they should get rid of it because they do not allow you to. They do not allow you to move anybody else forward like that on any other play.
I think that once again the same argument I had for the last one. If you just stop it, just be better. You've got what, 2 teams? You've got 2 teams. You've got the Eagles and you've got the Bills that can really execute it pretty well. And so because 2 teams can do this better than the other 30 teams in it, now we want to ban it.
It's like picking somebody up and throwing them over the fucking line into the goal.
It doesn't even come down to ability. It doesn't come down to ability. It comes down to how much do you practice it.
No, it comes down to ability for sure. Jalen Hurts can squat
400
pounds.
No.
Jalen Hurts can squat 400 pounds. You don't have...
I'm just saying, like, a guy like Josh Allen can do it.
Yeah.
Like, a guy like... Yeah, that's the only guy I can think of.
But
a guy like Josh Allen can do it.
So Trevor Lawrence can't do it, so we should ban it because Trevor Lawrence can't do it.
But
but
you should be able to put Sam Laporta or George Kittle in there to snap the ball and be pushed by somebody else. Get pushed by Monty and somebody else. Like, I think that's totally fine.
How would you guys feel about
the lineup? The formation is within bounds. I mean, why not?
Okay, then say this. How would you feel about a team signing a little person, used to be called midgets, I'm not going to use that word, and
Yes, sir.
just handing them the ball, taking a 350-pound lineman and just chucking him over the line.
I wouldn't
Sure.
have a problem. I wouldn't have.
Same exact concept. Same exact concept.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. Stop him.
You can't stop somebody that's 8 feet in the air flying over your head.
I mean,
He won't be that
you've
high.
got to be able to pick that person up and throw them before getting hit. It's the same thing as a quarterback delivering the ball before getting sacked.
You also got to remember, a
100%
defensive lineman is like
different.
6'3", 6'2".
It's
I mean,
automatically a
they
touchdown
jump.
once he crosses that line.
No, they could swat that little guy.
You
Hey.
definitely could not.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
they
remember Kyle? You remember Jack Shapiro, the fullback from like the second week of Lexi's lore? They've had small people in here before.
Not in the NFL. Not in the NFL, man. And I don't like the rule. I don't think you should be able to do it because I think that you're just getting the strongest person on your team to push forward the person with the ball. It's ridiculous.
So then replicate it or stop it.
You can't because you're not allowed to do that on defense.
No, I'm saying other teams. If it's so easy to do, then other teams should do it.
Exactly. Plenty of other teams have tried it and have not been able to do it.
Yes,
you shouldn't fault Jalen Hurts and his ability to squat 600 pounds to cancel a play from the entire league. Just because one player can do it.
Exactly.
It's not Jalen Hurts. He's getting pushed from. There used to be.
It is Jalen.
Then why can't other teams do it?
It is Jalen Hurts.
Why can't other teams do it then?
Why didn't it work as well when Kenny Pickett did it? Why didn't it work as well when Dallas Goedert was hurt? Because it takes everybody. It takes the unit. It takes the practice.
It's an absolute synergy of a whole bunch of people doing their job.
Everybody, yes. It comes down to ability, but that's why I say it comes down to practice too. You know this team, they know their spots. Dallas Goedert knows which part of his shoulder pad to put in which part of Jalen Hurts' butt cheek, dude. He knows exactly where to be to drive him through, and Jalen Hurts knows exactly which shoulder to put through which gap to drive himself through. And other quarterbacks don't see that.
I think that's
just how it is.
I think that rule changes should be reserved for situations that are completely unfair. There's nothing you could do about it. When Josh Allen lost on that 13 seconds to Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen never saw the ball back. That's not what we want to see happen in a playoff game. Just because you can't stop something or you weren't good enough isn't a reason to change something. That's the same reason I feel about the divisional thing. If you want the number one seed, win more games. If you want to stop the tush push, stop it. Don't legislate it. Be better or do it.
You're getting too much assistance from the people behind you to run the ball forward.
It's a team sport.
I think but that's not how football is meant to be played.
So now you're the old man yelling at the clouds.
You're not allowed to have.
Okay, all right. No more lead blockers. No more lead blockers.
No, you can't have other people running around on the field for you. It's ridiculous.
But when you get into a pile, right? Okay, wait. It's not tush push, right? You catch. It's 4th and 2, right? No, 4th and 5, right? 4th and 5. You throw a screen pass. Running back gets stopped 1 yard away. You got 10 people on both sides in a big push. What do the linemen do? They come up behind and push them over the goal. It's the same thing.
The fucking play.
Not always. They let him fight for it. They wait to see if he's getting it or not. There's plenty of non-tush push situations in which you've got the rest of the team pushing you over the edge.
Okay. Well, we'll see what comes of this rule suggestion. I don't believe that it belongs in the NFL.
I think a lot of people agree with you, but I don't. I guess I don't. I don't agree with that. I think it's a lot of bitter berries because they can't stop him. I will say it was fucking hilarious watching the Commanders trying to stop it in the playoff game where they jumped off sides 3 times trying to stop it.
Where they said they were going to give them a courtesy touchdown if they did it again.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're playing against them, you've got a whole week to prepare for stopping one play. You know what I mean? And the league has always been known as a copycat league. The only reason they're trying to ban this is because everyone else can't replicate it. Everyone else isn't strong
Well-
enough as Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts to be able to do that.
Well, there's also one more point that I didn't bring up with the tush push. The center gets to decide when that play starts, so he gets to jump every single time on this play.
Doesn't the center start every play?
Right, but the center is part of the tush push, as you guys are calling it. He knows
Yeah,
where
he's
to put his
setting
butt
that.
in, and
Yeah.
he's able to get lower than everybody right
But
away.
that takes
It's honestly
that takes
bullshit.
the right point and the right reps, and it's the same argument. It's the same. It takes getting to that point.
It's bullshit because you start the play with more force behind you than the defense is even allowed to get there.
That argument makes even less sense to me because the center snaps the ball on every single play. Like,
Yeah, but the center isn't being pushed forward by two people fucking behind him with the ball.
But the center's job isn't to be pushed forward. The center's job is to
And the
dive.
tush push it is.
Yeah.
That's why
So,
this play shouldn't be allowed because
The
he's
center
the one
can do that
choosing
any
when the
play he
starts.
wants. He can dive and fake anytime he wants. Why should that be banned?
if you do
I
a,
don't get that argument.
We're getting real nitty gritty. If the center can't snap the ball and choose to dive into two people that are right in front of him on a run stop, like that, he can't just try to push into.
Completely different when the quarterback is the one with the ball behind the center, and then there's a running back on your ass helping push you over that center in the line. It's
what about
Such a crazy play.
What if you run a wildcat? Wildcat halfback
I don't
halfback
think you should
sneak
be
on the
able to
goal
have
line.
somebody run up behind you and just fucking shove you into the
So it
line
has nothing
like
to do
that.
with the center. It just has to do with the fact that you don't think you should have someone push you from behind.
Correct. On a run play, at least. Behind the line of scrimmage, I don't think it's fair.
I guess we got to agree to
I was
disagree.
going
on
to
this
say
one.
we might just not see eye to eye. I agree with you though. We'll see what happens with the legislation. I'm sure we will. It's not a guess, but we will get a deciding. They'll vote on it, and I guess we'll see what they say with it.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to be in a room for those arguments too, see what they say about it. 'Cause I'm sure they hit a point that I didn't.
I bet it's going to sound exactly like this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to sound exactly like this.
I was gonna say I'd pay Nolan to get in that room and get in that meeting.
Dude, they wouldn't listen to anything I say. I haven't played football since middle school.
Nah, we'll put like a commander's jacket on you or something. Make you look like a traitor.
He looks more like a
I'll wear an Eagles
representative
jacket
of.
and be-
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, carrying on, Spence. Let's get the show going.
Nolan, you had something you wanted to ask me about with these LeBron songs?
Yeah. So one of the recent trends I've seen pop up are parody AI songs. I'm not sure if all of them are AI, but like I can tell a lot of them are. But these LeBron songs are pretty impressive. They're really funny. They're relevant. They're cheesy. I think it's just something that NBA Twitter really needed. My favorite song personally was the CeeLo Green "Forget You," and I've heard probably 3 different versions of it. I liked every single one. I just wanted to hear your thoughts because I know you're a big LeBron fan and what you kind of think about it.
I mean, there's not too much that I can say that's not going to be taken as just insane, as the kids say nowadays, insane glazing. I'm glazing them.
It is glazing.
I'm meat riding.
You're straight Krispy Kreme at 6 a.m.
What I can say for y'all is y'all better hope that the fucking Lakers don't win some playoff series, because that's how the show's going to start. I heard this one of the Man in the Mirror remix with LeBron, talking about LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Wait till...
I'm talking
Yep.
about the man on the Lakers.
Yep. Yeah, wait till they win some playoff games and the show starts with one of those. I'm gonna be insufferable. Y'all go as soon as the shit ends. Group chat
I'll be
gonna
in his
hit.
bag. God forbid. God
Oh
forbid.
yeah.
I think they're
Yeah,
funny. This is what AI should be used for. Yeah.
don't let them take over. Just let them make LeBron James jingles.
Yeah, that shit. They cracked me up. I think they're getting better too, because the first one was just someone saying LeBron over and over, and now we got full renditions of songs.
Right.
So It's nice. It's a nice funny thing. Like you said, good for NBA Twitter. Taking some time away from just arguing with each other to all have a good laugh.
Right.
And then Kyle, we're gonna end off. Kyle, you had some shit you want to get off your chest.
Yeah. Let me bring the mic a little closer over here. So it started on the west side of the country, and it's made its way over here to the Midwest. And I just want to say, fuck Boba Tea. That shit can go straight back up from where it came from. Why the fuck would I want balls while I drink my tea? I am a straight white male. I don't want to be slurping down your tiny little nuts. I don't need no flavor. My mama didn't add no salt. All right? I don't need your tapioca. I'm going to just go get an Arnold Palmer for 99 cents. I don't want your fucking boba tea. That shit give me anxiety, dude. Just seeing a bunch of bubbles at the bottom. Like, I went and got one, and yeah, my girl was like, yeah, it's so good. I love them. And she's just like slurping the balls down. Not pause. My woman is an honorable person.
Do they give you like a McDonald's straw with that so you can actually get some
they
in your
give you the
mouth?
big icy straw from the movies, like the big wide one from Imagine, and it's just it's
You can feel
just
it.
straight down the gullet. It goes straight down the pipe, and I do not like it. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to my 99 cent. Throw a dollar bill on the gas station counter and get my Arnold Palmer. I don't want no boba.
Get that Arizona going.
I want to go ahead and actually co-sign it because that was some real shit you just said. I remember the first time I got boba fucking tea, I was excited. I was like, oh, this is some new shit. Let me try it. Bruh, like you said, big ass fucking straw, right? So I go take a big gulp of that. Motherfucker, I almost died, dog. Big ass fucking ball hit me straight in my throat. But not one, multiple. You can't drink the motherfucker like a drink. You have to drink this shit like a meal. It's like pop, 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 just beating the shit out of the inside of my throat. If I wanted to gag on balls while I was getting a drink, I'd suck dick.
Oh my god!
I worked the corner, motherfucker.
Bro, it's terrible.
I live around the city.
I'm so serious. Like, if I am with some people that want to get that, I get mine without the fucking balls. It's undrinkable to me. It's literally like I said. It's not a drink. It's a meal. You eat that shit with a spoon.
That was perfect. That was perfect. I want a drink, not a fucking meal.
Dog, seriously, it's brutal.
It sounds like it's assault.
No, it's like little like gel fucking balls, like the size, like slightly like bigger, like twice the size of a pea.
Are they at least soft?
They're gel. It's like gelatin.
Like spongy, like those Zorbies. It feels like you're eating Zorbies, like those like little balls that expand. And
you can't fucking drink that shit without choking.
Gen Z action.
Man, I'm so happy that I stay out of drink culture like that. I don't have no girl to be making me. Oh, you're gonna love it. Oh my god.
Boba tea is the worst part of drink culture right there.
Yeah.
That's funny. I just stay out of drink culture. That's fucking hilarious.
Well.
No.
That's all we got for you guys today. Thank you for watching us. If you liked what you listened to, please leave us a like, a comment, subscribe, tell a friend. We've been making some progress, getting some more people up here, so we appreciate all of you guys tuning in for real.
Sub to the channel, whichever way the button is. Yeah. Click sub.
But all right, everybody, peace.
Peace out, though.
Bye.